Have you ever pondered why some people keep fit strong in their 90s, while some suffer with constant health difficulties far earlier? It's not only about genetics. Everyday habits play a huge influence in how well we age. The fact is, many elders inadvertently make mistake, could cut years off their life, or make those later years considerably harder than they need to be. And if you want to live comfortably to 90, there are 6 things you should absolutely avoid in this video. We'll uncover the largest lifestyle choices that hasten aging, weaken the body, and make daily life more tough as you get older. From neglected health behaviors to common diet terrors, each one of these can make the gap between prospering in your later years and coping with avoidable difficulties. Some of these might surprise you, but once you realize them, you'll have the power to modify your future. Make sure to watch all the way to the end, because the last one on this list is something practically everyone does, without recognizing how destructive it is. By the time we're done, you'll have a clear-out map for making the correct decisions to stay active, bright, and independent for as long as possible. Now let's get started. Number 1, neglecting strength and mobility workouts. One of the largest blunders seniors make as they age, believing that slowing down is a natural component of becoming older, while it's true that the body changes with time, fully avoiding strength and mobility exercises can have detrimental effects. Weak muscles, stiff joints, and poor balance are not merely indications of aging. They're often indicators of inactivity, because the longer someone goes without building on their strength and flexibility, the tougher it becomes to stay independent. Think about it too. Movements you once took for granted, like rising up from a chair, mounting stairs, or even walking for long periods, suddenly feel more tough. That's not only age, that's the product of muscle loss. Studies demonstrate that after the age of that persons lose muscular mass at a rate of 3% each decade if they don't actively endeavor to maintain it. By the time someone reaches 70 or 80, that loss can making everyday living considerably harder than it has to be. And it's not just about muscles. Weak legs and poor balance considerably increase the risk of dropping, which is one of the leading causes of injury and hospitalization. In seniors, consider the case of Robert, a 74-year-old man who had always been fairly active in his younger years, but ceased exercising after retirement. He-figured wandering around the house and performing yard chores was enough to keep him fit. However, with time he saw that getting up from the couch required more effort, and walking for extended hours left him weary. One day he tripped on a little rug and fell, shattering his hip. The doctors warned him that his muscles had weakened over the years, causing his bones more prone to fractures. What should have been a simple stumble turned into months of recuperations, and he never fully regained his mobility. On the other hand, seniors who incorporate even a tiny lot of resistance exercise into their routine, whether it's body weight exercises, resistance bands, or light weights, see important benefits. They maintain better balance, move with more confidence, and lower their risk of falls and injuries. Mobility exercises like stretching and joint-friendly movements keep the body flexible and avoid rigidity that can impede movement. So, what's the solution? It's never too late to start. Even if you've never lifted a weight in your life, basic exercises like chair squats, leg raises, or light stretching may make a tremendous difference. Walking is excellent, but it's not enough strength, and mobility exercises should be a part of your routine at least a few times a week, since the truth is, the stronger you stay, the longer you stay autonomous, and in your latter years, independence is everything. Number 2, eating too much or too little protein. When it comes to diet, many seniors focus on avoiding sweets, cutting down on salt, or controlling their calories. Yet one of the most neglected things in healthy aging is protein consumption. Both too much and too little can cause major complications. Protein isn't just for bodybuilders, it's the base of muscle strength, tissue, restore your immunological health, and as you get older, your body needs it more than ever. One of the greatest reasons elders experience muscular loss is simply not eating enough protein. As we age, our bodies process protein less efficiently, means we need to drink more of it to preserve muscle mass, yet many seniors unintentionally cut their protein intake, especially if they consume less overall or may avoid certain foods, owing to dental problems or stomach pain, and the outcome: weak muscles, slower recuperation from injuries, and even an increased risk of infections, because protein also maintains immunological function, yet the opposite problem, it sometimes be just as hazardous. Eating too much protein, especially from the wrong sources, can place unnecessary burden on the kidneys, especially for individuals with pre-existing conditions. Some elderly think that adding more protein shakes, adding substantial quantities of meat to their diet, is the solution. But the quality of protein matters just as much as the quantity. Leaning too heavily on processed meats, high-fat cuts, or fake protein supplements can truly do more harm than good. Take the situation of Carol, a 76-year-old woman who always trying to eat healthier. She reduced back on beef because she heard it wasn't good for aging bodies, yet she didn't replace it with other protein-dense dishes like eggs, beans, or fish. Over time, she noticed she was becoming weaker, her skin was weakening, and even small injuries required longer to heal. When her doctor tested her protein levels, they were dangerously low, adding to muscle loss and a compromised immune system. On the other hand, her pal John, who was 78, adopted the opposite route. After hearing regarding the importance of protein, he started eating big amounts of red meat every day, hoping it will make him stronger. Instead, he felt sluggish. His digestion worsened and his kidney function declined due to the increased protein load. Yet he later learned that moderation and balance were crucial. Lean proteins like fish, poultry, nuts, and legumes given greater results without the risk of overwhelming his system. Therefore, what's the right approach? Experts recommend seniors acquire roughly 1 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight spread during the day. But more importantly, the source concerns lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, beans, nuts, and legumes are wonderful selections. The idea isn't to overuse it or wipe it out totally. It's to strike the perfect balance to retain strength, mobility, and immunological function well into old age. If you're still watching this video and finding these ideas valuable, pause remark number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue generating good content to enlighten and encourage you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, disregarding social connections. One of the most dangerous behaviors that can reduce your longevity isn't physical, it's social. As people get elderly, many unwittingly isolate oneself if it's due to retirement, losing touch with old friends, or simply not making the effort to stay engaged with others. And while it might not seem like a significant deal at first, research demonstrates that loneliness is nearly as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It raises the chance of dementia, impairs the immune system, and even raises the probability of cardiac disease and early death. Humans are sociable creatures, and staying connected is more than just having casual talks. It's about feeling valued, supported, and mentally active. Without that, seniors can slip into cycles of depression, cognitive impairment, and even faster physical decline. And the scariest part, many folks don't even understand. It's happening until they've already disengaged from the world. Take the case of Richard, a 75-year-old man who used to having a lively social life when he was job. Yet after retirement, he steadily ceased reaching out to friends, and as time passed, he found himself spending entire days alone. He convinced himself he was fine, but with time, his memory started slipping. He felt more weary and uninspired, and even his appetite decreased. His doctor later told him that this solitude was severely harming both his brain and body, quickening the aging process. On the other hand, his neighbor Barbara, who was 78, made an intentional attempt to keep socially engaged. She joined a local walking group, enjoyed a weekly lunch with friends, and even took up a new activity at a community center. Not only did she stay mentally harsh, but she also felt happier, had lower stress levels, and was physically healthier than many of her peers. Research suggests that seniors who maintains strong social connections have better cognitive function, lower stress, and even better immune systems. So how do you prevent isolation? The key is to stay proactive. Even if you don't feel like networking, make it a point to reach out to family, reconnect with old acquaintances, or join a local club that shares your passions, whether it's volunteering, joining a book club, or simply developing a habit of regular phone calls. Every bit of social engagement helps, and with technology, today it's easier than ever to stay connected, even if physical distance is challenging. The truth is staying socially active is just as vital as staying physically active. And if you wish to living happily until 90, constructing and maintaining solid relationships isn't optional, it's vital. But here's the thing, even if you do everything properly socially, your health might still be at risk if you're committing this next error. Number 4, neglecting regular health checkups. One of the most common mistakes people make as they age is presuming that if they feel fine, they must be healthy. But the reality is many of the finest significant health problems like high blood pressure, diabetes, and even some malignancies develop silently with little to no signs till it's too late. Regular health exams aren't simply about discovering problems early. They're about preventing issues that could make your older years more harder than they need to be. Too many seniors avoid going to the doctor unless they're experiencing, well, some feel they don't need checkups because they've always been healthy, while some simply don't want to deal with medical appointments. But waiting till something seems bad is a risky game, because by the time symptoms arise, the damage may already be done. High blood pressure, for example, can go unnoticed for years while silently harming arteries and raising the risk of stroke, and heart illness and diseases like osteoporosis can weaken bones without any pain, or warning indicators making a simple fall far more risky. Take the instance of Harold, a 72-year-old man who prided himself on never needing medicine. He hadn't been to the doctor in over a decade since. With his words, "I feel amazing, so why bother?" But one morning when getting out of bed, he instantly collapsed. It turned out he had significant hypertension that had gone misdiagnosed for years, and he suffered a stroke that left him unable to walk without aid. Had he kept up with regular exam, his doctors may have diagnosed it early and prescribed basic lifestyle changes or drugs to manage it before it became life-threatening. On the other hand, his buddy Ellen, who was 75, scheduled annual screenings. Even when she felt completely good, Her usual blood work caught an early sign of prediabetes, allowing her to change her diet and exercise habits before it blossomed into full-blown diabetes because she took steps early. She escaped a lifetime of medication and problems staying active and independent well into her later years. So what should you be doing? At the very least, seniors should have a yearly checkup that includes blood pressure, monitoring cholesterol testing, and checks for illnesses like diabetes and osteoporosis. Regular cancer screenings such as colonoscopies and mammograms shouldn't be skipped, solely because you're getting older. And if anything feels weird, don't wait. Get it checked out. A little test today could prevent years of agony down the road. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights beneficial, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue generating useful content to inform and motivate you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, terrible sleep patterns and uneven rest. Many individuals assume that wanting less sleep is a natural aspect of aging. Yet the truth is, continuous high-quality sleep is nearly as essential in your 70s and 80s as it was in your early years. Sadly, many seniors develop bad sleep patterns, whether it's staying up too late, waking up regularly, or relying on drugs that disturb regular sleep cycles. But some restless nights might not seem like a huge deal. Chronic sleep deprivation can hasten aging, weaken the immune system, and raise the danger of cognitive decline. Sleep is when the body undertakes its most crucial mending work. It improves the immune system, helps manage blood sugar levels, and even flushes away toxic pollutants from the brain that leads to memory loss and dementia. Without it, the body suffers to recuperate from daily wear and tear, leading to greater inflammation, higher stress levels, and even an increased chance of heart disease and stroke. Consider the example of Nancy, an 80-year-old woman who'd always been a light sleeper. As she became older, she started waking up multiple times a night and eventually stopped getting more than 4 hours of sleep. At first she brushed it off, believing it was just part of aging, yet with time she grew forgetful, having problems focusing, and started feeling nervous for no evident reason. When Chevy cited her doctor, she learnt that her prolonged sleep deprivation was taking a toll on her brain and nerve system, increasing her chances for Alzheimer's illness. Meantime, her buddy George, who was 78, made sleep a priority. He kept to steady bedtime, avoided screens an hour before bed, and even started doing gentle stretching in the evening to calm his body. The change: he woke up feeling rejuvenated, focused, and in a higher mood each day. Studies show that seniors who get at least 7 or 8 hours of quality sleep per night are not unhealthy but also live longer than those who don't. So what can you do? Enhance sleep quality as you age. First, maintain a regular sleep routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps regulate the body's internal clock. Avoid coffee and drinks in the evening, as both can disturb deep slumber. Generate a soothing bedtime routine, such as reading or moderate stretching, to aid signal to your body that it's time to wind down, and most importantly, address any underlying difficulties, whether it's discomforts, sleep apnea, or anxiety, because disregarding inadequate sleep can have devastating long-term repercussions. Number 6, leaning too heavily on drugs instead of lifestyle changes. As people age, it's common to accumulate a lengthy list of medicines, one for blood pressure, something for cholesterol, maybe anything for arthritis, and then a few more to offset the adverse effects of the initial ones. But here's the problem. Too many elderly rely on drugs as a quick fix, while forgetting the lifestyle practices that could enhance or even eliminate the need for some of them. And although medicines are sometimes necessary, usage can lead to dangerous, adverse effects, hazardous medication interactions, and an overall decrease in health. One of the biggest risks of excessive medicine use is polypharmacy, the use of many prescriptions at once when different drugs interact. They can cause dizziness, confusion, fatigue, and perhaps an increasing risk of falls, and still many seniors don't ask whether all their meds are actually necessary. Occasionally doctors prescribe a new drug to address a symptom that's actually triggered by another medicine, generating a cycle that just makes things worse. Take the example of Henry, a 79-year-old guy who was administered a prescription for high blood pressure over time. He started feeling muscle weakness and tiredness. Therefore, his doctor recommended another medicine for energy when he began having intestinal troubles, leading to yet another prescription. Ultimately, he was on 7 numerous drugs, and he felt worse than ever when a new doctor finally, reviewing his medications, they realized that some of his symptoms were genuinely adverse effects of his meds, not new health conditions. By using simple lifestyle changes such as improving his diet and exercising frequently, he was able to lessen his need for several meds and felt better than he had in years. Meanwhile, his buddy Margaret, who was 80, took a different approach. She worked closely with her doctor to emphasize lifestyle interventions first, eating a heart-friendly diet, staying physically active, and handling stress. Naturally, while she still needed a few essential drugs, she was able to keep her doses down and avoid needless prescriptions. Studies demonstrate that elders who focus on lifestyle changes rather than just depending on drugs have better long-term health outcomes, fewer side effects, and a higher quality of life. So what's the solution? Initially, always check your meds with your doctor and ask whether any of them can be decreased or replaced with lifestyle changes. Second, focus on the habits that encourage overall health, a balanced diet, regular exercise, good sleep, and stress management. And eventually be your own advocate. Ask inquiries concerning new prescriptions, study natural alternatives, and take an active role in your health. Since at the end of the day, the fewer superfluous drugs you consume, the better your body functions as you age. If you continue viewing this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue developing good articles to enlighten and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Final ideas now that we've covered these 6 critical blunders that can make aging more difficult than it has to be. Take a chance to reflect on your own habits. Which of them stuck out to you the most? Are there any areas where you think a minor modification could make a tremendous difference in your long-term health and enjoyment? The truth is, living comfortably till 90 isn't simply about luck. It's about making purposeful choices every single day that support your well-being, ignoring strength and mobility workouts, eating too much or too little protein, ignoring social connections, skipping frequent health exams, allowing bad sleep patterns, and leaning too heavily on medicines. These are all things within your control. The good news is that it's never too late to start creating better options, whether it's adding light strength training, reaching out to an old pal, arranging that overdue doctor's appointment, or simply improving your bedtime routine. Every single move matters. Remember, aging properly isn't about avoiding becoming older. It's about making sure you appreciate every year to the utmost, and the best way to do that is by taking care of your body, mind, and relationships now. So you don't have to struggle later. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Post a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your remarks offers us fantastic encouragement. If you appreciated this video and found it useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue generating good content to enlighten and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.